Bungalow Quilting here, and author for C&T Publishing. I'm here to tell you about this wonderful wrapping paper called Scrappy Celebrations. Do you have a quilting bestie or a bunch of quilters that you love to do things with? And I bet you buy those people gifts all the time. Well, C&T Publishing has compiled 4 different quilts of mine into wrapping paper. I am going to walk you through a few things that you can do with fun paper crafting kinds of things with this gorgeous quilty wrapping paper. You can see that the wrapping paper has quilts on it, and so it is absolutely perfect for making gifts in addition to wrapping gifts for your quilting friends. I am going to show you some really fun things. You ready to see them? Let's start with my most favorite thing to do. I love to make greeting cards. The reason I love to make greeting cards is because you get the fun of crafting them, and then that person that receives them gets to use them all year long and give them again. So it's the kind of gift that just keeps on giving. So what I've done with this, it's just simply a box from the dollar store, and I've covered it with our fun Scrappy Celebrations wrapping paper. I've made sure that it's a large enough box to hold the greeting cards. And then I've covered the cover. All right, so now we've covered this box. And this in and of itself is really pretty. It's a great way to give gifts. Now, what I do usually is I am going to print a month on every single one of these cards. So here's January, here's February, here's March, and I just made these up on my computer, all right? Then what you do is you include a little jar of these little gems, these little acrylic rhinestones. And you can even include a little bottle of glue in the box. But what I like to do is I like to find the person's birthday. Let's say their birthday is July 10th. You take a little bit of glue and you put a dot on the 10, and then you're going to put just a little acrylic gem right on the 10. And that's going to be their birthday card. And so you can write a lovely birthday greeting. You can write whatever you'd like, whether it's a poem, make up a quilty poem, something having to do with quilts. Even if you have to look one up online, that would be really fun. So these are made with all the various wrapping papers that are in Scrappy Celebrations, and they're cut to the size of cardstock. So you're just taking cardstock, and you can even put something on the inside like this, just a little punch of some sort. 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and you're cutting it down to in half, and then you fold that in half. And then you're cutting this to 4.25 by 5.5. With rubber cement, you're going to glue that onto the front of the card, and then this gets put onto the front of the card with some double-sided stick foam tape, because it raises it off of the page just a little bit and gives it some dimension. That is my absolute favorite thing to do with fancy paper. Scrappy Celebrations wrapping paper also includes, in the very back, these wonderful gift tags. I love these for lots of reasons. Obviously, to use them on gifts, but you can use them for an address label. So with the cards included in that box of cards, you could put the tags and use those as address labels. They really just add that perfect finishing touch. This was fun. This is something I found at the dollar store. This is just a wrought iron holder, and the glass for the candle came right with it. So we just measure on here from the top to the bottom. We're so good at measuring because we're quilters, right? Then you're gonna measure the circumference of this, and then add maybe another 1/2 inch and cut the paper to go around the glass. You can just simply use Mod Podge to apply it to the glass. Now make sure if you're going to use a real candle that you're going to make sure that it's tempered glass and that it truly is meant for that purpose. However, we have lots and lots of battery operated candles now that are just available everywhere, and you could just put one inside there. Now imagine having your quilting friends over for a picnic or a quick meal or something like that, or for dessert. You could just put this on the table and then gift it to somebody afterwards. Putting that candle inside there, it's just gonna glow beautifully. As long as we are on the topic of candles, let's talk about these cute little votive glass candle holders. These I bought in a box of, I don't know, there must have been 8 or 12 of them in there. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to use the different papers that are in the Scrappy Celebrations. Well, how about combining it with this last candle that we just showed you before, putting these kind of around that as your centerpiece for a tablescape, and surround this main candle with the smaller candles. Let's get cutesy. I've taken the letter Q for quilting and I've put Mod Podge on it, and then I've covered it with the paper that is from Fractured 4 Patch. So this paper is a lot of fun. It's in blues and greens. These letters can be found at any craft supply store or crafting store. I would not use the ones that are cardboard. I would use the ones that are out of particle board. You put Mod Podge on it. You smooth the paper on it. You don't cut anything out first. You just lay the paper on it, wrong side down, right side up. Use a brayer if you have one, and really smooth this out. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Then let it get completely dry and take a very, very, very sharp craft cutting blades and cut right around the edge of the letter. You have to wait till it's completely dry to do this. Now you could make a word for your sewing room wall, or just Q for quilts. It's just a really fun, or put this on a wreath, your initial, and with the paper on it, and put it on a wreath on your front door. Cute, huh? One of the things that we are addicted to as sewists, quilters, crafters is shiny pages, which means we love magazines and we love books. And we love to have a great way to display them in our sewing room. So that brings me to this, and I used the packages, boxes, and bows print from the Scrappy Celebrations to cover my magazine book holder that goes in my sewing room. You can cover multiples of these, put it on a bookshelf, even like this side out, because then you can see the beautiful paper on here. That would be a lot of fun. And a great gift, once again, somebody that's going off to school, off to college. I don't know, maybe they don't want quilts in their room, but maybe the quilts would make them feel at home, make them feel like they're near grandma and mom. You are going to use Mod Podge once again. Because a lot of these are not plastic, a lot of these are paper or cardboard or poster board. You're going to have to be very careful using a brayer to make sure that it stays nice and flat. And work it, but it really turns out pretty. Next up is this plate or charger. I used this and put my red Fiestaware salad plate or dessert plate on this, and this could be used as a charger. If you make multiples of these and set them around the table, they're absolutely gorgeous. This is just a clear glass plate, once again, purchased at the dollar store. You apply Mod Podge to the wrong side of the plate, the back of the plate, okay? Now, yes, there are some wrinkles on here. I would use the busiest of all the papers, which is the blended hexagon, because you really cannot see the wrinkles on the front of this at all. So you put the Mod Podge on the back of the plate, you really mold the paper onto here, and you really do have to work it for quite a while. Just keep working it. And then you apply a couple more layers of Mod Podge. This will not, obviously not, be dishwasher safe. You take a soapy rag and you're just going to rinse these off. And the beauty of multiple coats of Mod Podge is that you can wipe with a damp cloth to get the backs clean. But this is just a beautiful way to present a plate of cookies. It's a beautiful way to present cake. It's a beautiful way to put pretty soaps on here. I really love how this turned out. The Scrappy Celebrations wrapping paper is just perfect for lots of projects and for wrapping those special gifts. People really, really appreciate it when you put the effort into their gifts. And this wrapping paper just tops it off perfectly.